What's up, everybody? Matthew Ellis.
Chelsea Caslow.
And we are coming at you with another episode of Heroes by the Pint. We have a really special episode. What are we talking this week?
We are interviewing Bob Salley, a source point creator responsible for sweet, sweet books like Ogre
and Salvagers.
Correct.
We are joined each and every week by the man over there pushing the buttons, Caleb Howe. Thank you for everything you do.
What?
I don't know.
Sorry, that just threw me. Normally it's like, it's much shadier than that.
But
I never get any recognition, so.
Yeah, we do appreciate you.
We do appreciate it. What? All right, before we jump into this episode, grab a cold can, crack it open, and let's have some fun.
Preferably from BREWDOG.
BREWDOG.
If you got them laying around.
That's right. This month's sponsored beer for the month of January and February. And, yeah, we're loving it.
We are loving it.
That's right. Before we jump into this week's episode with Bob Salley, time for the business. We'd like to remind everybody you can support this podcast for $1 a month. Head over to our website, heroesbythepint.com, recently updated by the producer.
It's pretty sweet. Check it out.
Yeah, it does look good.
It looks sharp.
I try to do my job regularly.
Yeah, well, you're the only one. Chelsea could learn a few
Step it
things.
up a notch.
Yeah. Head over to that website, heroesbythepint.com. Scroll to the bottom of that page. Click on that Patreon link. Over there you will find multiple tiers of donation level with some sweet, sweet prizes. Over on that page you can also link over to anywhere you like your social media and find us anywhere you stream your podcast services. Make sure you rate and review us. Check us out every Thursday with a video stream on YouTube, and like and subscribe. Keep it 5-star, keep it classy, and for the next 2 months, keep it BREWDOG.
And tell us what you think.
Yeah. Hit us with those reviews.
Yeah.
That matters.
It does.
All
It
right.
makes us feel either really good or really bad.
Both at the same time.
Or like 2.5, 3 stars mediocre.
That's right. Let's jump into this week's episode.
The artists that I've worked on with, Salvagers, they were artists that didn't really take to social media, and they did their thing, and that's no dig on them. It's just a lot of artists are like, hey, I do my work, and that's that. But Sean has a pretty big following, so I think the two of us together, we really just pushed it, and it's a beautiful looking book. So that it's a book that, like, without anybody knowing anything about it, they could look at it and be like, that looks pretty, I want it.
It's gorgeous, and something too with like all the source point books, and I've always said this about like indie. I don't know. It feels like such higher quality in the print. Holding one of a source point book and holding a Marvel book is way different. Like the source point book just feels so quality. The pages just have this like thickness and texture to it. As where like a Marvel book, I'm like, my fingerprints pull the ink off of it.
Yes.
Because it's like just so cheaply printed. So like I love buying indies.
Yeah, no,
It's
and
almost all we buy anymore.
Yeah, and I think like that Ogre book, when I first held it in my hand, I was like, I felt the same way. I was like, wow, like this feels like different, and it felt great. And I hope that people, when they went to comic shops and they went and ordered it and everything, like that they felt the same thing. And because anybody buying a book, it's the story could be great, the art could be great, but it's the whole experience. It's the how does the book feel, and even if it's just $3.99, you want people walking away feeling like they got their money's worth and that they're happy with their purchase. Whenever I do my Kickstarters, I've talked to people that do Kickstarters where they'd be like, like if somebody sends that a corner's ripped, I'm like, deal with it. And I'm like, that's not a good way to be.
No.
So like, I'm the type of person where I'm like, I will keep sending you book after book after book until I get it right. And with that book, like, it was just beautiful. It was beautifully printed, so we were all pretty happy with it. And then
He's good.
yeah, and so then, like, issue 2, did really well, as like where you do, like, where you got your number, and then it usually goes down 50%. But then it hit like the collector's market, So issue 1 like hit the collector's market, and then issue 3 we had more. So like usually where it's like if you did like 1,000, then issue 2 you could expect 500, and then issue 3 you could expect like 350. But where issue 3 was more than issue 1, so and it was that collector's market. It hit that collector's market, which helped out a lot. So and then and I'm really proud of the book. It was one of those books like where Sean and I met 2 years ago in Philadelphia, and we both knew we wanted to work on something. And seeing his art was beautiful. And not only is he an amazing artist, though, he's a really amazing writer too. So we didn't really know what we wanted to work on yet, and I had built this like epic fantasy story, and I knew like I didn't want Sean to work on that. But then when I was talking to Travis about what I had in the pipeline, he was looking at this epic story that I had, this epic fantasy story, and he kind of flipped it and changed it and made it smaller. And I think for a lot of times, like a lot of writers, when that happens, you're kind of like, don't fuck with my story. Like,
right.
This is what I want to do with it. But I trust Travis, and what he did with it, I was like, I'm like, that's actually pretty good. I like that. And then when we were kind of like flipping it, I was like, that's actually a story that Sean would, it would look great with Sean's art. And then when you start sitting down there and you're writing a story, and you realize, I think as a writer, you realize like, I got this guy who is a very talented artist and who is doing things that nobody else is doing. And I got to write a script. Now, one of two things can happen. I could write a script and he could do it, and people are going to read it and they're going to be like, wow, the art's beautiful, the story fell short. That's on me, and that would devastate me as the writer to be like, or you can just bust your ass and you can write a story that complements that art. And that's all I did. I mean, I lived and died. I put everything aside. I didn't write anything else but the story. And Travis, he did the editing on it. And, I was very proud of it. And it was the point of like being proud of like knowing that you had an artist like Sean Daly doing the art, and you put your best foot forward. Like when I wrote that script, it was like, you know what? If anybody rips this thing apart, then whatever. Like that's the best I have right now. Like I couldn't do any better than that right now. Hopefully I can do better in the future, but right now that's my zenith. And I was really happy that when people were reading it, not only did they compliment the art, but they complimented the story, because it was like climbing a mountain to try to like, keep up with Sean's art, because it's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was, again, gorgeous. Yes, the art is incredible. Sean does some phenomenal work, and I absolutely love the book. Cover 3 was absolutely my favorite, and I love the little story you had on social media about how he intentionally left the back blank for extra art to be put in at cons, things like that. But I just love like the minimalist look and just like how beautiful it was with cover 3, and the strong like political undertones in it, of just kind of like this, there's this war going on, and I think at one point a couple of the soldiers are just like, neither one of them really know why they're fighting one another. They just know like the North or the South, and it's like just this battle. And then the way ogres are looked at, and you have that scene where they stumble upon like the ogre community, which was like massacred, and like it was gorgeous, man. It was really well put together. So like, yeah, your art was like, or your writing was like on par with Sean's art, in my feelings.
Thank you.
Like,
I appreciate
it was a beautiful book, front to back, issue 1 to issue 3.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And speaking about carrying around dead weight, I've been like trying to figure out how I want to play this joke. Do I want to Garrett Gunn joke? Do I want to make fun of you?
I feel like you spend so much time trying to figure out what joke you're like. He's been thinking about this Probably since the first time you canceled.
Well, it's a great joke. I mean, speaking about carrying around dead weight, look who I have to deal with.
Are you pointing to Caleb?
Both of you, probably. But yeah, it was great, you know. And then I love when you get that little insight into the corpse's character, as you know, he keeps like telling the story to the ogre of how he was this great knight, and I don't know, it was beautiful. I loved it. And
how long did you think about that joke?
Not long. It's a dead weight joke.
It was a long time.
How long do you think Jerry Seinfeld writes his sets?
Probably a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like Jerry Seinfeld.
Clearly.
And you guys just announced you guys are continuing on with Ogre, correct?
Yeah, actually today, this morning, or maybe late last night, I woke up this morning and it was in Travis's edits for Ogres. #1 was in my inbox, and I was really excited. It's like I'm not nervous anymore. You know, like the first time I ever had Travis like edit something for me, I'm like, you know, this is gonna be devastating. Like I'm just gonna, I'm gonna get edits back from him, and it's gonna just make me feel like I just need to like, you know, go back to my day job. But like working with him now, like I realize like how helpful he is, and he's not the type of editor that's gonna tell you like, look, you know, this is garbage, this is shit. He's gonna really help you along with it and make it better. So I was excited about it, and literally just went through it, and it was like, you know, I mean, it wasn't like, you know, like totally destroyed or anything, but it was little dialogue, stuff like that. And just going through it, it was kind of like accept. And you know, there's one little thing that he put in there that I really liked. I don't want to like give too much away, but you know, it was exciting because then it's like, all right, you know, it wasn't like me like having to do a big rewrite. It was just more like it's done, and passing it off to Sean. He's working on something right now, so you know, once that's over, he'll probably start diving into this. And if you follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you'll start seeing some, you know, teasers. But it's a lot of fun. So what we wanted to do, and when we wrote this, like I was kind of like one and done, you know, like it was just like this, and then I'd already started moving on to a new project called Broken Gargoyles. And so I was developing that, working on that, because in my mind I thought, you know, Ogre was not something we were going to continue doing. And we were at Fan Expo Canada, and we all went out to dinner, and Sean and I were talking, and he was like, all right, well, when are we going to do the next one? And I was just like, you know, and that to me was a big compliment, because I know now, I mean, Sean is like a hot commodity, and everybody's trying to like, you know, nail Sean. So for Sean to be like, hey, you know, like, I got all these people busting down my door, but I want to work with you, was a huge compliment to me. And so I told him, I was like, well, you know, I really didn't think, like I didn't have anything in the back of my mind. So I was like, all right, well, like let me think on it. Let me talk to Travis. So my idea was I didn't want to do a sequel. Like, you know, I didn't want it to carry on. But I wanted to do like another story in that universe, in that, you know, in that world, with different characters. And so, you know, the main thing I thought was I was a big Alien fan, and Aliens, and I felt like those were two standalone movies. You know, even though, you know, like you had like that one character that was like linked them together, Alien and Aliens were two different movies. So I was like, let's do something like that. So we made Ogres. So now it's a totally different story. It's in the same world, and you got totally different characters, but it's you know, it's got that feel of like, it's so like where if Ogre was kind of like a horror type story where, you know, this guy had like this ghost with him, Ogres is just an adventure story. And it does have like there's going to be like a little moment where you're going to see like if you didn't read Ogres, it wouldn't mean anything to you and you would just keep going. But if you did read Ogres, you'd be like, oh, this is like this is what was happening in Ogre over here, and now we're going to go this way with these characters. And so I'm really excited about it. Just, because I feel like any writer, I think, like as you're progressing and as you're improving, it's exciting to write another script because you can see like that you're getting better, and there's different things that you're going to do that, you know, hopefully the audience is going to appreciate. So I'm excited about this one, and you know, I think that, you know, again, I'm just glad to be working with Sean. Sean's awesome to work with, and anytime you can work with somebody like Sean, who, again, like I said, is not just an amazing artist, he's also an amazing writer. You can learn from, and I think that you know, as writers in comic books or anything, you really need to open yourself up to try, like, wanting to learn each script. You want to learn more so you can carry that on into the next one and just keep improving.
Yeah. Chelsea was just saying something like that the other day to me about like working with me, about how it just like pushes her to be better.
Yeah, just pushes me to be better in every way.
Human, really.
Yeah, just more well-rounded because of knowing you. It's something I like to tell people. I'm like, you know, I don't know if you've heard of Matthew Ellis, but I'm working directly with him. It's on my resume.
Literally, it is on your resume.
It is, unfortunately. In fact, I'm 99% sure that's why I got this job I just applied for.
It's the podcast.
It's like exciting and depressing all at the same time.
So your job is sitting around talking and drinking.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Well, we drink. Go to cons and then drink.
Right. So you need to stop writing comics and start podcasting, because then when you go to cons, you'll have time to like run around and buy cookies, maybe check out like a bar. There's a lot less commitment.
Yeah. Although we are going to have a lot more commitment at C2E2, because we got to like kind of like
be professionals.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but we have press passes, so we got to get some like elbow time. I gotta pitch these like rehearsed jokes to Paul Rudd, you know.
Oh god.
So
he's convinced he can get Paul Rudd to FaceTime his wife.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey man, do it. If you think you can do it, then do it.
I think I can do it, because I'm just gonna hit him with, like, I'm just gonna kind of be like, hey, here's my wife, and like slam the phone in his face, you know, and be like, here, talk to her real quick, and like.
I think he would totally do it.
Yeah.
She was like, well, I'm gonna look terrible. I won't be ready.
Yeah. We were talking also, like, Paul Rudd's maybe like the one celebrity that I'd be like, okay, I'll pay to get my picture with you, like, because you're Paul Rudd. Like, he just. Yeah. Like, I feel like we're already best friends.
Like, you could put it in a frame and people would like walk by it and not notice really, but then they might like double take and be like, wait a minute.
Right.
It's not like.
Well,
like
if you're as old as me, like, I mean, you've been hanging out with Paul Rudd since Clueless. Like, you know, he's
right.
He's us. He's like one of
us.
He
is. Yeah, he's just one of the guys.
Favorite Paul Rudd role? What is it? Let's hear it. Bob, you go first.
I mean, right now, like, I actually really like his role in Ant-Man. Like, I think that and the reason why is because I love everything that Marvel's doing, and Marvel was like, okay, we're doing Thor, we're doing Captain America, we're doing all this stuff, and we got all, and now we're gonna do a movie that like the kids are gonna laugh at, the wives are gonna be like, oh, this is cute, it's a rom-com. So my wife didn't watch any of the Marvel movies, and then Ant-Man like was like available on HBO, and I was like, dad. Right, and I was like, look, I'm like, just watch this one, right, and she's watching it, and it was over, and she was like, I really like that. She was like, are all of them like that? I'm like, no. Like, no.
But you're
like, none of them are like that. I'm like,
no.
But I'm like, but that was like such a refreshing break from like all the other movies that were going on in this MCU. And I think that it was so important to have that.
Yeah.
So I really like that.
What's yours? If you take mine, I'll be real mad.
Wet Hot American Summer.
Oh, God, I knew you were going to say that.
That's my favorite.
Mine's I Love You, man. I love that movie.
I just love when he's like the bass. He's like,
yeah, the bass. Role models?
Yeah, Caleb, our producer, just came in and said role models.
That's a good one, too.
The Starbucks.
Is he in role models?
Yeah, with Sean Stickler.
Yeah, that guy. Stifler.
Stickler.
Yeah, Stifler.
The Starbucks scene makes the whole movie.
The Starbucks scene?
No, Wet Hot American
Starbucks
Summer is the best. Where he
No, I love you, man.
where he pushes the kid out of the moving van because like he saw his friend get drowned while Paul Rudd was making out with someone who wasn't his girlfriend. Like Paul Rudd was the man. That like feathered mullet he had, the jean jacket. Like, come on, that's your best self.
Yeah.
Like that's who you wanted to be back in the 80s.
That's who he is inside.
Like,
I think I like I Love You Man so much because it feels like that's actually Paul Rudd to me.
Probably. Well, see, and I'll say, I feel like all Paul Rudd movies are probably Paul Rudd.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
It's
Like,
just
that's
like
why
Paul
he's
Rudd
the
as
best.
himself.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't have to play the character at all.
Right. he just shows up, and he's probably like the one actor that you don't give any grief to for just like playing the same character in every movie. You're just like, oh yeah, no, that's Paul Rudd.
Right, that's what we want. That's what we want we want that from Paul Rudd. The moment he does anything else, you're gonna be like, why couldn't you just be yourself, man?
Why couldn't you just be Paul Rudd?
Right. I said.
I came here. I paid my $15 to see Paul Rudd.
I said a while ago, Paul Rudd became what everybody wanted John Cusack to become.
Yeah.
Like he just, Cusack kind of fell off a little bit.
I would say you're right. I mean, I kind of feel like John Cusack, like Grosse Point Blank, was his like last movie, and Fight Me. Like you think like, all right, so like he was in that lawyer movie. Who's the guy that writes all those lawyer movies?
Grisham,
but it was like the book was about like the gun industry or the tobacco industry.
Yeah, Runaway Jury.
Runaway Jury.
Yeah.
So the book, like I read the book, and the book was about big tobacco, and then the movie was about like the gun industry, or I'm flipping it. I can't remember which one it was, but he was just like, I was like, I don't know who you think you are, but I want to, give me Grosse Point Blank. You. That's the you I want, or Better Off Dead. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're never getting that. You're never getting
One
that.
Crazy Summer.
Yeah. I mean,
when did you wake up one day and think that you were a serious actor?
Serious actor,
the Academy is not looking at you.
Right. Go get your boombox, bro. Come on. I will say that he had a great role in Frozen Ground next to Nick Cage. It's a suspense thriller where Cusack's the murderer, and it's in Alaska.
We're big Nick Cage fans on this podcast.
Yeah, where do you come out on Nick Cage?
So what do you rate him on bottle caps out of 5?
Oh, I love Nick Cage.
So
I liked the movie. Well, no, I liked what was the movie
Wicker
called
Man?
where he would be like he could like jump, he could see like 2 minutes into the future.
Oh, this is gonna kill me. I know exactly what movie you're talking about.
See?
What?
No.
Because there was.
Oh, this is gonna
No, because there was also
look it up.
There was also Knowing.
No,
Knowing
this is
what-
like he literally could see, and it was like exactly like.
Next.
Is that it?
What?
The name of the movie's Next.
Next.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
And what's her
I
name?
remember
was
the
in it?
movie, not the name apparently.
Justin Timberlake's wife was in it. Jennifer Biel.
Jessica Biel.
Jessica
yep.
Biel.
Yeah.
And Dirk
it's a good
Diggler's bone buddy, Julianne Moore.
You're like, okay, he brought up Ask Jeeves. You're like Jeeves. You like have to run around the internet to find the answer, but eventually you come up with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's you.
I figured you just had like somebody in your ear being like,
We normally
answer's
do, but
next.
we just have a mic today.
the answer is Next. It was out in 2005.
I'm
He
like,
was nominated
phones
for
a
an
friend.
Academy Award.
I would like to use a lifeline.
You could go
Listen.
on about talking about his tax evasion and how he lives on an island and will do any movie now just to pay off his taxes.
Have you seen Mandy?
No, but I
Oh,
want
you
to.
gotta. If you need our login to watch it,
Dude, you gotta
I'll
watch
give it to you.
Mandy. But
But
we
it's
just
on
found
Prime, right?
I think it's on
Probably by
Prime,
now.
and it's like hella cheap now. But we just found a movie that came out 2 years ago, or maybe it was last January, called Mom and Dad.
Oh yeah.
And it's with him and Selma Blair, and every parent in the world snaps and tries to murder their kids.
It sounds awesome.
Well, so you know, actually, this just made me think that Next is not my favorite movie. It's The Family Man.
Oh yeah.
Like that movie, like brought me to tears. Like that was the movie, and Don Cheadle's in it and plays like God. Did you see that movie? Where
A
like
long time ago.
oh my God! So this movie, like where he's like this mogul in New York, and he warps into this life of like where what if he married this girl, he had kids, and in the beginning he's like fuck this, like I gotta go back to my penthouse in New York, and then by the end he's like loving the family and everything, and then Don Cheadle's like, no dude, I told you in the beginning this was just a glimpse, and you're like, fuck you, Don Cheadle. Like, you were just like, you were heartbroken. You were like, no, like, he needs to be with that family. And then it was beautiful, beautiful
It
movie.
sounds like Back to the Future if Michael J. Fox would have boned his mom.
Basically.
Yeah, it sounds like
very
almost
similar.
Yeah.
the same
What's his
plot.
name's in it? Ari Gold from Entourage.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
The actor, I can't think of his.
See, a while I was playing rock and roll in a band, and we'd always do this thing with like each actor. We would like kind of rate their movies, and then we would decide if they were a good or a bad actor. But like, so Nick Cage, you had like 3 categories. You had like good movie, so terrible it's good,
Like campy.
and then just terrible movie, you know. And like he has a slew.
And then Mandy. There's 4 categories.
Yeah, and then Mandy, which is like, honestly, should get him another. Does he have a star?
I don't
in
know.
Hollywood, like it should get him.
He should win all the
He
awards.
should definitely. I think he's got a lot of really good movies. I don't know if that outweighs the bad movies, but I mean, Raising Arizona.
That's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
I
Like-
love The Weatherman. No one likes that movie.
The
But
Weatherman. I like The Weatherman. What about
the role he was born to play?
what about the movie where it was he was the con man?
Gone in 60 Seconds.
No, that was a good movie though too, and I don't care what anybody says.
Not like the one Bad Lieutenant.
Candlestick
or whatever.
Man, or it was like
Oh,
Candlestick Man. Or
Candlestick
something.
Man.
I always
Wicker
go
Man.
back.
Wicker Man is the one where he like goes to the like
The
Main
island.
Covenant.
Yeah, I always go back to that movie because my friend had told me
The bees.
she's like Wicker Man's my favorite, and I was like, okay, so
I
it
did
was
not
on.
see.
It was on
It's pretty
Netflix, so I
messed up.
watched it, and see, I thought it was like one of those things where it was shot like during his prime.
No.
And it
I
was
don't know,
like
I don't feel
supposed to
like
be
that
a
has a
good
prime.
movie. No, man, he had a prime. He was the highest paid actor when he was doing Con Air, Face Off, The Rock.
Con Air was a good movie. The Rock. Oh, The Rock. Wait a minute.
The Rock was awesome.
See now,
dude.
like, no, I changed my mind again. The Rock was my favorite movie.
All right. Before we get
all
off,
right. So wait, like, real quick though, like The Rock, like, was filled with so many cheesy lines. Are you an Elton John fan?
oh,
But he's
yeah.
like, you know his song Rocket Man? Well, it's you. You're the Rocket Man. Like that line, I'm
It
just
even
like,
sounds like Nick
I'm like,
Cage.
somebody wrote that. Like that is such a shitty fucking line.
Somebody wrote that and actually thought this is inspirational.
Well, the
And
best
people are
is
going to
that-
listen to this and be like,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is what I always
He
think, right?
is.
Somebody wrote it, but somebody approved it.
Yeah.
So like
Who?
that's where you're just
Where was
Yeah, because you can get drunk and write anything. But then somebody said that's what we want.
where
to
was
be
the
title.
start?
I think at
of
that
this?
point it's like, fuck it, dude. We got Sean Connery, we got Nick Cage. You could write any dialogue you want. People are gonna accept it.
What was the start of the summer blockbuster? Caleb, look this up for us. You can just come over. See, I always said it was Independence Day, but now I'm starting to think, was it The Rock? Did The Rock come out before Independence Day? Because after that, you started, like, after Independence Day, you had Armageddon. Like, you just had these, like, slew of, like, I mean, was there a bigger cast than Con Air? John Malkovich, John Cusack, Nick Cage.
I mean, that's
Steve
everybody.
Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, it
Steve
was,
Buscemi's so great.
it was huge. The asshole with curly hair.
Which one?
Was William Forsythe in that? Was he like the cop?
I think that's who I'm talking about. I think.
Oh, with curly hair.
So.
I can't believe. Are you like
Did you
even
find it?
certain that it was
The
like
Rock
those
is
two movies came out?
1996. Con Air is 1997, and The National Treasure is 2004.
What about
Oh,
Independence
wait
Day?
a minute! National Treasure.
Yeah, the Declaration of Independence,
That's
bro.
another great movie.
No, those ones don't count, like, because those are actually like really fun, good movies.
You
so,
have to see Mandy and then report back.
Oh, dude, Mandy's
And then listen to our cast on it because you'll think it's funnier than if you hadn't seen it.
psychotic. Now,
It's so psychotic.
as we get ready to
When is
sign
Independence
out,
Day?
Bob, I got one thing to ask you to do.
Here it
Can
is.
you deliver the Zeus's butthole line from The Rock, in your Nick Cage voice?
The Zeus's butthole.
You remember when Sean Connery's breaking out of the prison and he's like in the cell underneath of him and he's like,
You have
How?
to do it now. You
I
do it.
can't. I just know he says Zeus's butthole. That's another line.
What's
Like,
the line, Caleb?
Oh my god.
Gosh,
I
you're
just
going
like
down.
my favorite line is, oh God, I can't remember it now, but he's like, 'cause I gut you like a fish, boy. Is that what it is? Is that when the guy, and he's just laying in the cell and he's like, 'cause I gut you like a fish, boy. And
I think it's like the scene where he's like laying in the prison cell.
I got it.
You found the line?
Yeah.
What
Okay.
is it?
It's how in the name of Zeus's butthole did you get out of here?
That's it. But
how
it's Nick.
in the name of Zeus's butthole.
Yeah, but that's how he delivers it because he's like, hold on, I'm not even do that.
Who wrote
he's
this
like,
script?
how in the name of Zeus's butthole did you get out of here? Like, that's so Nick Cage.
I love your crazy Nick Cage gestures.
Well, like,
Your
that's
hands
what,
are
like,
all
I know he's
here.
doing that in that movie. He's like,
Like I just like now I feel like I want to have like a Nick Cage marathon movie run. Like
Well, we'll come
there's some
over,
really
'cause that's
good,
like our
there's some really
style.
good Nick Cage movies.
so
So many.
here's something that we were kicking around shortly after Christmas. So we're going to do a live broadcast now that we got our Mevo with the 10mm
Yeah.
camera.
The
So we're-
battery on this thing is like this big.
So we're gonna do.
You guys need to like caption what she just. She's like,
That's what I'm saying. It's
like,
the
well-
battery on this thing.
Well, no, I mean we got so many of them.
you gotta
Very
take that out of
powerful.
context. You gotta take it out of context.
Earlier
How
you're
was your
talking
night?
about.
Well, I gotta tell you, the battery on this thing
It
is.
was like this big.
Earlier
No,
you're
it was
talking
a-
about Sean. You're like,
It has a 10-hour battery life.
you're like everyone's trying to nail Sean. And then he said, like, when I get off multiple times, and I was like, man, I just.
You giggled twice. Yeah. It's like being in school.
I'm 4D.
right. When the teacher's like 69 times 2, and you're like,
So we're gonna do a Nick Cage like live stream reaction marathon. But what we're doing is we're just going to watch the films that are on Netflix because there's always at least 10 Nick Cage movies.
I
on
told you
Netflix.
though, on Hulu, I think, or no, Vudu, they have a free movie section called Nicholas Uncaged.
Yeah, we're gonna
And
call
it's
it.
all Nick Cage.
We're gonna call it Mary Cagemas.
So,
So like,
did you ever see the movie Penguins?
No.
no.
All right, so the movie Penguins, and I have kids, so I have to watch all these movies.
We do too.
And it's kind of like amazing, like when you watch these like Pixar movies.
Wait,
whether
it's
it's-
Happy Feet?
No, penguins. Like,
Oh.
No,
you know
I
the
remember
the penguins from Madagascar.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
penguins from
know.
Madagascar. So John Malkovich is the villain in it, and he's like an octopus, and he's got all these minion octopus or octopi around him, and when he calls them by name, like it's like celebrity names.
Yeah, he's like, Nicholas,
So it'd be
cage
like
them.
Nicholas, cage them. And he does that like, Charlize, they're on the roof. Like, and like the first time I watched this, like it was going on, and like you're not paying attention because you're like,
It's a kid's movie.
It's a kids movie. They're quiet. I'm gonna go in the other room. And then you come through and you start hearing him like barking orders out, and the first thing I hear is Nicholas, cage them, and I'm like, it just happened, didn't it? And then it's like, Charlize, they're on the roof, and I'm like, all right, I see what. And then and he does it constantly. So I don't think I've been drinking, so this 5.
We have too.
Yeah.
But, it always ends up like this.
Yeah, we're gonna keep.
We even go deeper on levels of Nick Cage. He's mentioned.
Dude, we're way into that.
Yeah, we're about to have a podcast about just Nicholas Uncaged.
Yeah. We were thinking about.
I'd like to be a part of that if I could.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll do research. I do research though.
Yeah.
I don't want to be caught off guard with like a Zeus's butthole thing. I want to be able to. You ask me that? I want to be able to be like, I want to nail it.
Yeah.
Right on.
We'll practice.
So I'm thinking about taking things out of ref. There for a while we were getting really good, and we were like outroing, like our outro music would dip down, and we'd have like this one little statement at the very end. And it started with something incredibly lame that the producer said, and it just like lined up perfectly. So then I would always like, I'd be like, that's it. That's what I'm gonna like take out, and I'll move it clear to the back, and that's gonna be it. So I'm gonna remove all the Zeus's butthole stuff, besides the part where you're like, I don't want to be caught off guard with Zeus's butthole. And that's
I like.
Yeah, it all started. The producer at the end of one of our EPs, he was like, "When are we getting more of that lavender wit beer?" That was just dropped at the end. We were like, "This is perfect." Look at
such a cutie.
Oh my god, I love him. It just looks like a Muppet, like Fozzie Bear.
He does. He's a cutie.
All
right, my man.
Go get me the Brigby puppet real quick. I gotta show you the Brigby.
Yeah,
puppet.
we have to see this. He said earlier, he's like, I gotta go get it. And then he kind of looked around like, how do I leave
I'm like,
in the middle?
how do I take these headphones off and walk away?
Ellis did that to me once, and it was the scariest moment I've ever had on this cast.
You depend on me.
I do.
As much as you don't like me.
I liked when he
All right.
barked.
Go over there. All right, ready? Here he is.
Let's see it.
Oh. This is the guy. This is Yoda on meth.
Oh my god. I sort of wish that you did this whole podcast.
Did you see how he was bouncing his mouth as I was laughing at his line?
Like he's eating his dog.
Oh my god, I love that.
He's like Alf. He just eats dogs.
Or eats cats. He's always like, here, kitty, 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 kitty. Alf was one of my faves.
What happened to his arm? And
Oh.
No, in the comic, right?
So he gets his
It grew into a snake.
So he can get his arm cut off, and it grows back. Whoop. See, look what you did now. Go. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second there.
We got you.
Deal.
Power of editing.
There you go. You got both my boys. So when I first started writing it, like all the crew members were human, but I like loved the X-Men and I like loved superhero stuff. So I was like, I want to have them be aliens so I can kind of like throw in some like cool stuff. So look at this thing. So
She's like, sorry.
Rigby just ran over here. You actually have to grab him. So anyway, I was trying to come up with like cool things, like so with Tyr, like he had like impenetrable skin because he came from a planet that rained glass. So like they evolved into like having this impenetrable skin. And then Brigby, like he kind of was like reptilian, so I had it like where he could like rejuvenate, rejuvenate his limbs. But when he rejuvenates his limbs, his immune system like goes to like working on the limbs, so he could get really sick. So it was kind of like playing on like it's a cool thing to have, but it's also a weakness. And then I just thought, I was like, well, what if like the limb kind of like grew is like some kind of like worm type thing like that, was just like, just a cool thing to.
But I love that part where he's like, it just didn't seem right throwing it away.
Yeah.
Because I figured that was probably like his power hand.
Well,
so he was like, I can't get rid of that.
That's
my daughter's convinced
that's my finishing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Afton's convinced that if she cuts off any of her limbs, they'll just grow back like a starfish.
Small thing.
Yeah.
All right, my man. Cheers.
Hey, cheers. I'm on to the oatmeal.
So, yeah, absolutely. We've had so much fun, man. And
thank you. I'm sorry that I feel like I'm letting you guys down because Casey had her little thing and Tony had his, and I'm not.
What do you mean? We talked
like
about
the weird joke.
We talked about Zeus's butthole.
Oh yeah,
and Nick
you didn't
Cage.
really ask him a hard sexual question like we do.
No, I mean we just made a masturbation joke.
Only
Zeus's
one.
Butthole.
Only one.
I don't know. Why do I always have to be the one?
You're the one that does inappropriate things, and I have to be like, ah.
You were the one who talked about what Golden Girl wanted to sleep with.
That's true.
So basically, Brigby gets his arm cut off and he throws it in the tank. So that way, when he wants to do the stranger, just take the arm.
There it goes.
There you go.
I love it.
Oh, dude.
My followers are gonna drop.
He sits on it for a while before he does. But.
Yeah. No, man, no. They probably won't even listen to this deep into the podcast. They'll be like, they sound intoxicated now. I'm going to now.
I always wonder when people decide we're drunk and stop listening. I haven't been able to pinpoint it yet.
I just fast forward to the drunk part.
Me too.
Because I want to remember.
Yeah,
it's like
what
as soon as
happened?
people start hearing Nick Cage's name drop, they're like, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we are again.
But that's when you know. That's when you know that your real listeners are paying attention.
That's right. That's right. All right, my man. Cheers, dude. Thank you so much. We had so much fun. Let's do it again soon.
Hey, absolutely. And let's get Sean on. He's going to be a hoot.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
artists are never a hoot.
No.
They're usually working. They're like, yeah, I'll be here, but I'm going to be working. If you have a question,
I'm going to be busy the whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but definitely, I would love to come on again. We'll bring Travis on. Have you had Travis on yet?
We haven't had Travis, and I talked to you about having him on, and
you haven't had him?
No.
We'll get Travis on.
That would be sweet.
I'll do it. I'll hook it up.
Deal.
Hit him up.
Travis will do anything I say.
Perfect.
Tell him C2E2. Tell him you want to come to C2E2 now.
You can do both.
Yeah.
Be like, take this Kansas City plane ticket, fold it up to a nice little square.
Paper airplane.
And shove it up your ass.
Shove it up your Zeus's butthole.
Oh, I wish I could high five you guys.
We can try.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers, brother.
All right, we are cashing out of this week's episode. We are the Glassy-Eyed Geeks, and this is the Heroes by the Pint podcast.
We got a big announcement before we go.
Big announcement.
Yeah. We're going to announce the Tubby winner from our contest on Instagram.
As promised, thanks to everyone who participated. And we checked, the producer checked, all the numbers. We know who lied.
A lot of you.
A lot of you lied. Just
but
trying to get
that
Tubby.
We're completely honest and eligible to win this sweet, sweet glassware.
That's right. Hit it, Caleb.
Like we always do with this
I didn't know you were going to dance.
I thought we should.
Oh, okay. All right. Who's going to say it?
You.
Oh, okay.
This is your
the
baby.
winner of this month's Instagram giveaway contest.
We're doing one every month.
Every month. So follow us at Heroes by the Pint on Instagram. Is Noah Hines. Hey, Frankie. His Instagram handle.
Wait. I think we should hear Frankie out here. He's protesting. He's like, wait a minute, this is bullshit.
He's like, dude, I was the one.
I entered.
Yeah.
I didn't get a reshare.
You're just gonna leave now, Frankie? Gosh, Studio Cat here for 5 seconds, did his job, now he's gone.
All right, come back with it.
Noah Hines. If you want to follow him on Instagram, his handle is Heinzen57. Clever, we get it. Catch up.
I'm not much of a catch-up guy myself.
This dude reposted our Instagram post, which increased his chances 5 times.
Yeah.
And guess what, guys? He won. So
Do it.
Next time, share the shit.
That's right. And next month we have a really great BrewDog coupled with a SourcePoint giveaway.
It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, we're gonna have some BrewDog glassware coming at you with some SourcePoint gear.
Wardrobe? It's a wardrobe piece.
Yeah, go with that.
It's an accessory.
Yeah, accessory way. With some really great
You're not gonna want to miss it. That's what it boils down to.
gifted SourcePoint books that we've gotten from all the incredible
Dude,
authors.
they're gonna get all of that?
The novels, should we know?
We have to now.
I mean, it's your collection.
You guys better reshare. That's all.
I haven't
say.
even gotten pieces of
I'm
mags
gonna
back from
share the shit out of this if you're gonna include the books, dude.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I still have that.
I don't have any of those books. And you're just gonna give them away? Like
They're
this?
in our long box. All right.
Okay, so Chelsea has all the books?
all of them. Yeah. I haven't even gotten Pieces of Madness back. I'm
No,
not ready
I've
to buy
got that.
yet.
It's pretty sweet. Also, I still have your Bob Salley books. I've got everything that you own, basically.
I've pronounced his name wrong so long that you want to pronounce it wrong.
It's really hard for me. And it's said how it's spelled. It's ridiculous. Anyway, Noah Hines, congratulations. Hines in 57. Way to repost that crap. You win the tubby.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll send it to you.
Yep, keep a lookout for all of our giveaways that we're going to be featuring each and every month of the year on Instagram. And we have some really exciting announcements that it's kind of crazy because we're getting so much stuff coming at us.
It's been wild. But if you want us to slide into your DMs, make sure you enter these contests.
That's right. That's right. That's what we need you to do. All right, we're cashing out of this episode.
Cheers, buddy.
One more rundown of the
To
business.
Noah.
Head over to heroesbythepint.com, scroll to the bottom of that page, click on that Patreon link. You can support this podcast for as little as $1. Also, over on that Heroes by the Pint page, you can click over to anywhere you like to stream your podcast services and find us anywhere on social media right from that page. Click over to that web store. Check out the fresh gear. Boost up that e-commerce. That's
It's
a
really
thing,
fresh.
right?
Caleb worked hard. Check it out.
Absolutely.
It's sweet.
It looks good.
Bob
All right.
Salley just asked, how can I get a shirt? You know how? E-commerce.
E-commerce.
Cheers to that.
Cheers
You gonna
to
hit us with
that.
that outro music? No. Okay.
No, our 12 seconds are up.
Yeah, we
We're gonna
sampled all we
start paying
can.
people on
This is Kanye West is out for blood.
This is the Heroes by the Pint podcast. We are the Glassy-Eyed Geeks, and we are out.